Hey, 7th grade, what's up? There is your problem of the day. Write down everything, hit pause, write down everything you see, and give it a try. All right, so I'm guessing you paused it, you wrote everything down, you did your problem of the day, and I'm hoping you showed your work. Some of us can figure out these proportions without showing our work, but with ones with decimals or large numbers, that's not going to work. So I really am encouraging you 7th graders to show your work with the way I teach you to do it up here. It may seem like more work now, but it's going to make your life easier later on when we get into the bigger, harder problems, especially today. All right, so today is going to be a little bit harder, but not too bad. We're still sticking with proportions. So let's take a look at this proportion. We want to find 9/15. What fraction with a 3 on top is equal to 9/15? So what we do is same as every proportion. We cross multiply. And I like to do the variable first. So I have y times 9. We'll always write the number first. So 9y. Don't write y9. Make sure you put the number first. This is called your coefficient. It's just a number in front of a variable, and it goes first. Then we put our equal sign. And we go the other way. 3 times 15 is 45. And then, yeah, I know you guys can do these in your head, but I still want you to show your work so that when we get into bigger equations, you'll get used to doing that. You'll get used to dividing by 9, because this is multiply when they're touching. So we do the opposite, divide by 9 on each side. Cancel that out, and I get y equals 5. So 3 over 5 is equal to 9 over 15. All right, this is going to help us today doing these proportions. So today we're going to talk about conversions. And when we're talking about conversions, I'm talking about in measurement. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And I want you to write a big star by this because it's super important. You need to label your proportions with any word problem, any percent problem, any conversion problem. And I'll show you what I mean by labeling your proportion, all right? It's not that hard. Okay. So let's look at, we're just going to look and start doing these, and you're going to say, oh, this makes sense, okay? So, all right. So I'm going to say that 2 feet equals 24 inches. And I want to know how many, let's say, 36 inches equals how many feet? Now this one's pretty easy, and I know you guys can do it in your head. But we're going to do it using a proportion. So we're just going to turn this into a fraction. Take your first statement, turn it into a fraction. 2 over 24. And actually, it doesn't matter which number you put on top. You could put the 24 on top, or you could put the 2 on top. What is important is that next to your fraction over here to the left, we're going to label it. So what does the 2 stand for? It stands for feet. What does the 24 stand for? It stands for inches. All right, so then we're going to make our second half of our proportion. We're making another fraction, right? It says, so we look at our second problem. It says 36 inches equals blank feet. Well, I have to figure out, where do I put the 36? Well, 36 stands for inches, right? So I look over here and say, oh, inches are on the bottom. That 36 has to go on the bottom. And this is the one we don't know. So if we don't know something in math, this is where we start learning how to use our variables. We just put a letter there. And I'm going to use the letter F since I'm trying to find feet. Now, you're going to need calculators today for sure. So if you don't have a calculator, find a calculator. There, you could find a calculator on Google. You could just type in calculator in Google. You can use a calculator. Hopefully you got one of these. TI-30Xs. If you did not get one of these, that's okay. You can use any calculator. You can use a calculator in a cell phone, I don't care. But we're going to cross multiply. And like I said in the problem today, let's do the variable first. So I have 24 times F is 24F. And then 2 times 36 is 72. Solve our equation. Divide each side by 24. Those cancel out. I get F equals 3. So it's 3 feet is 36 inches, all right? Now this may seem like a long way to do this, but there are ones you're gonna have to do it this way, and I'll show you in the next one. We'll do another one, and in this one, you're gonna have to do it this way to make it work, or it's just, you're not gonna be able to figure it out in your head. This one I know we can figure, a lot of people could say, oh, I know 36 inches is 3 feet. But the next one's not going to be like that. So I want you to get used to using this process, okay, and taking your time. All right, so let's look at another one. And we'll do a liquid one, okay? I'm going to say 1 quart equals 16. Oh, that's not right. Mr. Haberhorn. 1 pint equals 16 ounces. And I want to know what we'll say 20 ounces equals how many pints? Now this one we can't figure out in our head because the answer is a decimal. But we can figure it out using a proportion, okay? So, 1 pint is 16 ounces. Make it a fraction, 1 over 16. 1 stands for P for pint. 16 stands for O for ounces. I'm going to put the whole abbreviations there. There's our first fraction. Here's our second fraction, 20 ounces. Where's that going to go, top or bottom? Where do I see ounces at? Oh, it's on the bottom. 20 goes on the bottom. And we don't know how many pints, so I'm just going to put the letter P there. All right? 16 times P, 16P. 20 times 1 is 20. Got to divide. Divide by 16. Divide by 16. And I need you to be careful here. Those cancel out. Make sure you type the top number in your calculator first. So 20 divided by 16. Grab my handy dandy calculator. I got 1.25. So 20 ounces is 1.25 pints. So we can see that sometimes we can't do them in our head, and we have to show our work. All right, very important. That's all I'm going to show you guys today, and we'll try some of these and see how you guys do. You will need a calculator today. The numbers are going to be too big for you to not have one. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit around the classroom. So here's room 204. There's my desk. Here's my little videotaping station. And here's where my class looks a little different this year. There's nothing on the bulletin boards because they're cleaning in here all the time. And I am teaching to, instead of students, a pile of desks. It's a little bit weird. I'll tell you that. But I'm glad seeing you guys are learning and doing your work. There's my cool Star Wars poster. It's awesome. All right. You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow.